welcome back to the makeup aisle. Today's video is going to be a tutorial on this look that you see right here. It was something that I was inspired to do just actually a few days ago. I want to start adding more tutorials to my channel. Just note that I am not a makeup artist. I do not have a certification in makeup, although that is going to change in the next few months as I am going to be doing that. But of course, I love playing with makeup and I love doing looks and coming up with new looks and that sort of thing. So as you can see, this look is very cool tone. You have kind of a black smoky eye, very, very prominent silver in the inner half of the eyelid. But I think it's something that a lot of people will like. So again, this is my first tutorial, so be gentle with me. I think a couple of times throughout the beginning of the video, I might not be in focus, so please kind of bear with me through those moments because I'm still trying to figure out when I'm looking in the mirror what the camera's kind of focusing on and that sort of thing. But again, I hope you do enjoy this look. Let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, I did one eye off camera just for the purpose of saving time. But this is the look, basically what I'm going to do on the other side of my face. I have you pretty close so you can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it on the other side. I've already done the top half of my face. I always do because I draw on my eyebrow so I have some sort of anchor while I'm doing my eyeshadow. And then I will finish the rest of the face. So I will kind of zoom you back out because I could see that you can't see like the bottom of my chin, but I really just want you to see or be able to see what I'm doing with my eyes. So to get started, I am going to start with my MAC Paint Pot in Painterly, and I love this. This is a recent purchase of mine, but I really do like it because it's basically almost like a concealer. So you can get rid of any redness, any veining that you have on your eyes, so you can start basically with a clean canvas. So now that I have put Painterly all over my eyelid, I'm going to go ahead and set it with an eyeshadow. And what I'm going to grab for that is my ColourPop pressed shadow, and that is in Made to Last. I love this shade because for me it's closest to my skin, so when I put it all over, it's not like I'm necessarily adding extra color or anything like that. And the brush that I'm using right now is the tapered blending brush, the E40 by Sigma. So I'm just kind of tapping that in to the skin there on my lid and just setting the primer. I am going to grab ColourPop Dreamboat, and it's just a little pinkier than what I was using before. And what I am going to do with that shade is basically start kind of carving out my crease. I have very hooded eyes, so I always have to kind of carve out a crease above the actual crease, because once I open my eyes and look straight ahead at you, the color just disappears. So I'm using the same E40 brush from Sigma, and as you can see, I'm just going back and forth in windshield wiper motion and just bringing that down as well, because I'm going to clean all of that up, so even if I get fallout, that's okay. And that's one of the main reasons why I do the top half of my face first and leave the rest for after I do my eyes, especially if it's going to be a dark look like this. So I actually had started with a different palette. I used a Too Faced palette, one of the tin ones, and it was the a la Mode palette. I just on a whim decided that I wanted to grab it and use it. And the blue in there, which is the darkest color, is absolutely phenomenal. But when I went to look today to make sure that they still sold it, they do not. So I didn't want to do a tutorial on a palette that more than likely you're not going to be able to get. So I did decide to do a black on the outer corner, as you can see. But if you do have the a la Mode palette and you haven't really used it, try that blue. It is so good. It's like really, really good. It's one of my favorite colors now, so I think I'm gonna have to try to find that palette and buy it again because I need that color. They don't sell it separately. I'm gonna go in now the inner half of my eye with the Maybelline Color Tattoo Eye Chrome, and this is actually one of the main reasons why I wanted to try this look, because I wanted to give these a try. These are so good, they're not gonna budge. Instead of using the actual applicator, I'm going to go in with my MAC 242 brush, which is so good for putting on like glitters and pigments because it's a flat brush, and this really works well. So I'm basically just going to start from the corner of the eye and move up just to wherever I want that color. So it's about halfway, and I'm just kind of pressing in and moving the color around. So after I have applied the color tattoo, I'm actually going to go in with a silver eyeshadow, and this one is by Raine. It's called Flashing Lights. This is really, really going to make that inner corner pop. Really starting to get like really icy now. The color tattoo is really nice, but there's not a lot of oomph to it, so I just decided that I wanted to really make it silver on the inner corner. So that's going to be it for the silver. And then I'm going to go in on the outer half of the eye with the black eyeshadow. So I also wanted to use my color tattoo. This is also by Maybelline, the actual regular one. And this is in the, let's see, this is the leather collection, and it's called Dramatic Black. This is such a great kind of like a base for black, or any color really. Purple, blue, if you want to make it a little more vibrant. Black is always a really nice base. So I am just going to tap that onto my lid, and I don't need a lot. Again, it's just to almost add just an extra layer so that that black can really pop. So as you can see, it's not really dark, which is fine. I just want that black to have something to adhere to. And I'm gonna bring it in a little bit into the silver because we obviously want them to look nicely blended. So once that's done, then I'm going to go in with the black eyeshadow. And the black shadow that I'm using is also by Raine, and it is called Black Moon. So I am going in now with a Sigma blending brush. This is the E25, and I'm going to pick up some of that black. And to start off, I'm actually going to kind of press it onto the outer half of the eye because of the color tattoo. It's still a little tacky, so I like to press that in, and then afterward we'll blend like we normally blend. I just want to get my placement first, and then afterwards I can kind of do the windshield wiper motion and really work that black in there. This is a really gorgeous, cool tone look if you're looking for like a really nice smoky eye, kind of sex kittenish look. This is really nice where you only use just a few shadows. There's not too much to do. It's just getting the placement right, but other than that, everything else kind of comes together. Get a lot of fallout from this black, but I think a lot of matte shadows you tend to do anyway, so that's not a really a big deal for me because I'm just going to clean up that area anyway. So then at that point, I will start kind of blending it out and bringing it over the silver just a bit. And of course, with colors like this, more than lighter colors, blend, blend, blend. I mean, that is the word of the day because you want to make sure, excuse me, that it doesn't look too harsh on the eyes and that it just kind of seamlessly goes from one shade to the next. And this black is really nice and black, so I'm not going to need to go back in again. After this, I'm just going to blend out with what I have on my brush and on my eyes. So here I'm just looking at the other eye, making sure that I kind of have it even, where it's really halfway and each of the eyes looks even. So I'm going to go back in with the pink that I used, the ColourPop pressed shadow, and that is in Dreamboat because I'm going to use this as my transition color and also to basically buff out the black up top. I'm going to go back in with my E40 brush from Sigma and take it right up to the top and really start blending that out so that you're not going to have those harsh lines. So that's why I tend to put a little more color, because you're going to kind of take away some of that color when you're blending. Go in one more time because I really do want to see the pink a little bit up top. And as you can see, it's starting to kind of really blend that out. So the top of the eyes is really done. That's it. It's going to be those four colors. Really, the first one I used, like I said, it was to kind of set the MAC paint pot. If you use just a regular eyeshadow primer, you may not need to do that. I know a lot of people that do, they just like to kind of set it. And then the other shadows will go over a little more easily. They'll blend out a little more easily over that primer. So really 4 shades is all you're going to need here. As far as shadows go, the color tattoo I added because I just kind of wanted that extra pop underneath, but you don't have to use it. The silver is really nice on its own. I am using my simple micellar water wipes to clean up. And what I tend to do when I go under the eyes is I will kind of flick it up in the corners so I can get a nice sharp line up there. And like I said, I had a lot of fallout, so I'm just gonna clean up a little bit. So I am going to go in with my Urban Decay Naked Skin Color Correcting Fluid. This is a newer product, and this is in Dark Peach. I absolutely love, love, love this corrector. So I'm just putting it in the spots that I need it because it's not a concealer, so any dark spots that I have on my face is where this will go. And I'll kind of just press it into the skin. And I'm using my Real Technique sponge. I always use the pointed end because it just works better. And really getting that up to the lash line. And I realized that I did the bottom of the eyes here before, so I will try to work that out without messing up that shadow look. And then for foundation, I am going in with my Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum Gel Foundation. If you haven't tried this foundation, you definitely need to try it. It is such a beautiful foundation. It's very light on the skin. It kind of just, it's almost like a bouncy foundation, but so light, but you still get really, really good coverage. And I'm just kind of putting that wherever I need the coverage. Making sure I go down to the chin a bit. And then I am going to use a damp beauty blender to really buff this into the skin. This is just one of the best foundations I have ever used. Walgreens used to sell this. They no longer sell it in the States, so you have to order it through Amazon. But it's still a really good price. I only paid $15 for mine, and because I have Prime, I get it in 2 days. So as you can see, it's kind of a medium coverage foundation. It doesn't cover everything, but if you just want a lighter coverage, this is a really good foundation to use. You can build this up and it still won't look cakey, but I like it for what it is and just use it like that. And I always go in with powder to mattify my face, so I will actually get more coverage once I do that. The concealer I am using today is the Tarte Shape Tape because I really want good coverage. This concealer is, if you haven't heard already, I mean, it's literally been everywhere. It is such a full coverage concealer. It is wonderful. So again, I kind of got to be careful on this side because I did the shadow already. But I will usually bring it down and then bring it over. And then I'm going to go back in with that beauty blender and start really tapping that into the skin. As you can see, it's really full coverage. I mean, it covers everything. So I didn't mess up the look too much. It still looks pretty well intact. So once that is pressed into the skin and you have the concealer on, I am going to go in with my Anastasia Banana Powder. This is the one that I always use to set my under eye. I love the way it brightens my skin. It really works for my skin tone. So this is the one I always use. So wherever I put that concealer, I go all the way across my face and really brighten that area. So for powder today to set my makeup, I have my Flower Beauty loose powder. I recently bought this. This has been my everyday makeup drawer for this month, the month of March, and I absolutely love this powder. It's quickly become one of my favorites. It goes on so nice, so you know, just blends out so beautifully. It doesn't cake up, it doesn't look crazy on your skin, and the shade for me is just beautiful. So just basically going over my face and setting the foundation with the powder. And that's really all I need to do it. It doesn't take a lot, and like I said, it's just a really nice powder and really does the trick. I am going to finish up the left eye starting with eyeliner, and I'm using my Maybelline EyeStudio gel liner in Blackest Black, which is my favorite. And I was just telling my sister that I have to practice my winged liner because I am not a pro at that, but we will do what we can do. that's not too bad. And as you can see here, if you can see from there, I have a purple on there. I don't mind a black smoky look with all black on the bottom. I just really, really have been loving the contrast with different colors on the bottom lash line. I just think it adds a little something extra. So I do that almost all the time. I never necessarily use the same color that I use up top. I always start like a lash line shadow with a different color, whether it's blue, purple, or green. I am going to use this purple by Raine, and it's called a Fetish. So I'm going to go ahead and just line the lower lash line with that shade. And this brush that I'm using is the Morphe B75, which is a great flat brush to do just that for the lower lash line. This purple is very vibrant and very beautiful. And I'm taking that the entire way across the eye over to the tear duct as well. So I'm going to grab a small blending brush, and this one is the Morphe E36. And if you can see it there, it's very literally a tiny fluffy brush. And what I do is I just kind of go back into that purple, pick up a little bit, and then I'm going to buff out what I have under there already, so it could really be smoked out and not be so harsh. And you can bring it as low as you want. I know a lot of people like their smoky eyes very blown out, so the color kind of comes down a little more and just makes it that much more smoky, which is great. So whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you want to do is absolutely fine. I'm going to go back in with the Color Drain Black in Black Moon, picking up just a small amount, and then I'm going to go into the corner, just like the corner third, and just smoke out the black there. So it adds a little more depth and dimension kind of to the corner of the eye. For the inner corner, I'm always using my Essence Rosy Flamingo. It is just the perfect inner corner highlight. It never fails me. This is what I always use. It's only $1.99, so for me to just use it for my inner corner is not horrible. I could see if the shadow was like 20 bucks. But that's what I use for my inner corner. As you can see, it makes a huge difference. It really brightens up the inside of the eye. And then to really brighten up the brow bone, I am going in with MAC Shroom, which is kind of a staple when you look at shades like that to really highlight the brow bone. So you have a nice contrast there between the black, the silver, then you kind of have the pink, and where it kind of melts into the black, it almost gets a little purpley, and then you have the nice MAC Shroom up top to really highlight that brow bone. So I'm really, really pleased at how the look so far is going, and if you like really cool tone looks, I think this is a really nice option. I am going to apply false lashes. These are Demi Wispies. And I'm trying to think, I want to say they're Allure or Eyelure. I usually take the packaging off my lashes. And what I am using is the Duo Glue, which is almost like a little paintbrush. And I love this glue because it just really goes on where you need it without worrying about like getting it everywhere. One mistake I was making too before, if you're not used to using false lashes, is that I didn't let the glue dry more than what I was doing. I'd let it dry for like 10 seconds, and that definitely wasn't working because they were slipping and sliding everywhere. I got glue in my eye one time, so I was like, yeah, I'm not putting on lashes anymore. But I've been watching videos on applying lashes when you don't have lashes of your own, and basically they said the biggest mistake is that people do not let the glue get tacky. So what I do is I definitely give it more time to dry now, and once I put it on, it just stays there. So I've been using lashes a little more, and they really do make a difference in how your eye look turns out. And that is it. I wasn't going to do this on camera, but like I said, I'm so excited to finally figure out how to get it done that I thought, let me try it on camera, and that's it. What I tend to do with my lashes is that I cut them more than you need, because I don't like lashes on the inner corner of my eyes because they can get very, very annoying, again, if you don't have your own lashes for them to kind of sit on. So I'll do like half my eye to the outer corner because I really like the way the outer corner looks when they're just kind of cat eye. And then we're gonna go ahead and finish the face. I'm gonna go in with the Makeup Revolution Ultra Bronze Bronzer. This is also a newer purchase of mine. I've had it probably now for about a month. It's in my everyday makeup drawer right now because I have been wanting to try it out more. And I am going in with a BH Cosmetics brush in 114. This is kind of like a tapered brush there. And then I will just start to bronze the skin. I don't contour too often just because it's not something that I necessarily think I need all the time. If I'm really going for, I mean, like this is a full-on glam, you know, in a way, but if I'm really going all out, going to, let's say, a club or a girls' night out, and I really want to do it all, I will contour my cheeks, I will contour my nose. For blush today, I thought that I'd go a little more subdued, even though this color is really gorgeous. This is the Flower Beauty Flower Pops Powder Blush, and this is in Sweet Pea. This is really gonna do it. And this is also a color that you can build up, and it's not gonna look crazy on your skin or show any texture. I just really, really love this shade. It's what I've been, like, it's in my everyday makeup drawer right now, and I reach for this. I have a few other blushes in there as well, and I reach for this more than the other blushes because I just absolutely love it. So you see, I'm just building it up, and it's a lighter color, so you kind of do have to build it up, although the pigmentation is still really there and still beautiful. And this brush that I am using is the BH Cosmetics V3. This is part of their vegan line. It is such a beautiful brush. I love BH Cosmetics brushes. So I think that will do it for the blush. And now I am going to highlight. And I am going to do a very subtle highlight. I am going to use the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. I just recently got this as well. I've gone to Ulta, and I always go to the Essence area just to see what's new because I really do like their makeup. And I saw this, and like it took a second to register, and I'm like, oh my god, there's the highlighter. I know Kathleen talks about this so much and loves it. So you see, it's very subtle, although you can build it up. You can see it there. It is really, really beautiful. And I don't normally highlight like the tip of my nose or anything like that, but this is one of those highlighters that I do because it is kind of so subtle, so the glow that it gives you is really not too much. I am going to go in with a combination that I have been loving lately, and this is the MAC Selena lipstick in Amor Prohibido, which is their nude. I don't line my lips too much. It's one of those things that I don't necessarily do all the time. And then I'm adding the Essence Triple XL Shine Lip Gloss in Nude Kiss, but I am only going to do that in the center of the lip to just add a little dimension there in the center. And I'm going to finish all of this off with my Milani Make It Last setting spray. I really, really love this spray. And I know it's been like everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. It smells so good. It just works so well. It's because it really, really does. So I am going to take a shower in this stuff right now. And the thing is that it really does smell good. So you can like inhale without like dying or feel. So that is it for this look. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. It is my first tutorial, so please go easy on me. I'm just excited to start really adding these videos to my channel. I do hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it's something that you feel inspired yourself to recreate, whether on yourself or someone else. If you have any questions about the products that I used or any techniques that I used, please leave them below in the comments section. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you click that little bell because that will alert you whenever I upload new videos. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you again for spending a few moments of your day with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.